Hey, it's Ronnie Hunter. Thanks for tuning in to the Blitz Virtual Backroom with Saint Asonia. We'll talk about their new album, Flawed Design, their first ever live appearance that happened here in Columbus in 2015, what they've been doing during their pandemic downtime, and more.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Saint Asonia here. We're here for another stop on our virtual tour that we're doing during this quarantine situation. And we're stopping here in Columbus, the Blitz.
First off, hello guys, and thanks for setting some time aside for us today. The very first live Saint Asonia set took place here in Columbus, Ohio at Rock on the Range in May of 2015, and I recall you took the audience by storm and surprise because your first album didn't come out until that summer. What was the feeling like when the crowd realized who you all were on the stage, and then you started throwing down originals and songs from 3 Days Grace and Stained?
That was awesome. That was that was a huge moment. We were stoked to play our first show, and we were really fortunate that we were able to, do it at Rock on the Range, which is now Sonic Temple. It was amazing. I remember it really well. It was just a great day in general. It was slightly raining for most of the day, so that kind of sucked, but it didn't matter. It was still a great show. Columbus is great. We've been to Columbus so many times. So much fun. So yeah, it was cool. And at that time, you're right. The first record didn't come out until later on. So we didn't have any. We had just released Better Place as the first single from that record. So we put in a couple Stain tunes and a couple 3 Days Grace songs. So it was a lot of fun.
It's pretty epic first show.
Yeah.
Maybe the best, one of the best for sure, rock shows.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
In the world, probably.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, couldn't ask for a better first live show.
Saint Asonia was scheduled to do some serious touring, including Sonic Temple here in Columbus this year. With all that on hold and the state of things, talk about what you had to navigate so far in terms of dealing with the pandemic and what it means for touring.
We've been talking about this a lot.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Totally sucks.
Yeah. We're just kind of in the same boat as everybody. We're sort of up in the air. We have no real idea when things are going to get back to normal. And, we basically had to put everything on pause. We were just saying the timing couldn't have been any worse, but it is what it is. We're trying to do what we can and get through it. When it picks up, when everything gets back to normal, we're gonna be out touring a lot. That's for sure. Make up this year.
Yeah, we had the whole year booked right till the end of the year, and everything's getting canned. Our summer tour was Breaking Ben, and Theory and Bush just got canceled or postponed. So, hopefully they just make up all these dates. And they're not gone, they'll be hopping another time.
Yes, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hard to say right now. Speaking of Columbus, we on this record we wrote with some other artists, that sort of thing, and so we're gonna play a couple of those songs in a bit. Play some songs that we wrote with different people, one of them being from the Columbus area. So yeah, we'll play a couple of those tunes in a bit. But let's start. Let's play a song. What should we do? Should we do what were the four that we were thinking about?
We do Sirens, Hunted, Blind.
Yeah, let's do Blind. Let's start with Blind.
Yeah. Current single.
Yeah. You don't see through me, you can't
Brought you and Mike together, Adam. And once you rallied the team, what were your expectations for Saint Asonia with the release of that first album? Did you see it going beyond that?
That's a good question. I mean, after when I left 3 Days Grace, I had a few people just reach out, and Mike Mushak was one of them. And at the time, he was working on some solo stuff, and he was planning on doing a record with him playing guitar on, you know, a bunch of songs and then having guest singers. And so he asked if I'd want to be a part of that. I said, yeah, sure. We got together, started working on a couple ideas, and then it went really well. You know, we wrote a bunch of tunes a lot quicker than we thought we would have, and so we got together again and just kept writing. So yeah, I think at that point we decided let's make a record and see what happens. We had zero expectation. You know, we just wanted the right team around us. You know, the right manager and that sort of thing, just to you know, somebody that had faith in the music and everything. So yeah, I think we got lucky that it was as well received as it was, and here we are now after a second record. Yeah, and no plans to slow down or stop that anytime soon. So, yep, lots more records to come for sure.
What have you been doing to occupy your time during the pandemic downtime? Honey-do list projects? Any particular Netflix or Hulu series binging you'd like to share? Puzzles, writing another album, or any collaborations?
We're basically doing all of that.
Yeah, totally. A little bit of everything, I think. We've definitely all been sharing different show ideas and binge watching. We've all been on the Prison Break, this show on Netflix. It was pretty badass. It's old, I guess.
Yeah.
I had never seen it till a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it either. It's awesome, yeah. Good show.
Uh-huh.
Well, did that. Are you still on it, Kim?
Yeah, I'm on the last season now.
Right.
It's 10 years later, and like there's 10 years between the 4th and the 5th season, I think it is. Everybody's looking a little older. But
Yeah. Did you just start it?
yeah, I'm like 3 episodes in.
Yeah.
Michael Schofield's like fucking MacGyver. He fixes everything.
Yeah.
Breaks out every prison on the planet. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I got hooked on prison stuff too. So I've moved on to Oz, the HBO series Oz,
Great
which is
show.
also old. It's started in '97, I think. So I'm digging that show for sure. And just before that, I was watching The Walking Dead. I was binging that for a bit, and I actually left that show while they were living in a prison. So it's all about it's all prisons. I don't know. It's all about prisons.
It's this whole isolation thing.
Yeah.
It's just prison.
Everything's a prison. That's right.
now.
Yeah, and we are doing some writing. We're doing some. We're working on some new stuff. We got tons of ideas floating around and all that. So yeah, I think we're likely to have another record semi done and half ready sooner than later. I think. Got nothing but time on our hands, so that's what we're doing.
What were the different or similar inspirations and challenges for making Flawed Design versus your first album, including a few lineup changes?
The first Asonia record was basically, I mean, it was just written by Mike and myself, and you know, it was pretty simple the way we wrote the first record. He just had a bunch of riffs and a bunch of music, and he sent it to me, and I, you know, came up with melodies and lyrics and stuff over that, and then that was pretty much the album. And this time around, we worked with different songwriters. You know, it's kind of the typical thing with, I think, most bands that, you know, with the first record, bands tend to have a lot of songs or stuff ready for a first album, and then when you move on to the second record, it's you don't necessarily have a big, you know, vault of songs anymore because you kind of used it all up making the first album. So yeah, we co-wrote with different artists on this album. Yeah, we just thought outside the box, I guess, when it came to songwriting, and you know, we used a little different elements on this album, and yeah, so, but there's also a handful of songs that were written the same way that we did the first record, where, you know, Mike had just music and I just kind of sang over it and worked on it a bit. So yeah, but in general, the lineup change hasn't really it didn't affect Flawed Design anyway. I mean, if anything, we just different guys playing on it.
Saint Asonia is already a supergroup. Then you supered it on this album by adding Solly Erna from Godsmack and Dustin Bates from Columbus's Starset, to name a few. What other guests appear on Flawed Design, and what part or parts did they play on the album?
Well, there's actually two guest singers on Flawed Design, and Sully's one of them, and Sharon Denadel from Within Temptation is another, and she she sings on a song called Sirens. Dustin Bates from Columbus and from Starset, he is a co-writer on 2 songs on the record, and like we were mentioning earlier, we co-wrote with different people on this, and Dustin from Starset was one of them. So yeah, it was cool to be able to work with just really great people and really great artists. They added a lot to the album, and that's what we wanted to do. So so yeah, let's actually do Sirens.
Big time.
This is a song that we were just talking about. We all fall down together, nothing lasts forever. This is not the end. Are you listening? We've been poisoned from the inside, 'cause we're still burning at the ends. Have we been standing on an empire, when every floor has made us stand? We fall down together, nothing lasts forever. This is not the end. Are you listening? We're all in this together. Nothing lasts forever. This is not the end. Are you listening to the siren? The siren. The sirens. You used to see it in the still in the morning sun.
What's the backstory of the first single, The Hunted, with Mike and Solly?
The Hunted was a song that Mike and Sully they started to write years ago. It was, I think, originally meant to go on a movie soundtrack. It never ended up going on the soundtrack, so Mike kind of held onto it and kept it in his back pocket. And when we were putting songs together for Flawed Design, we broke it out and worked on it and got it to a point where it seemed like it made sense for us. And then we asked Sully to be a part of it because he was a co-writer on it. So, yeah, we're, again, really fortunate to be able to work with some really cool artists and singers, Sully being one of them. And on that note, why don't we play down to Big Time?
Yeah.
if you could go back in time and be a part of the recording sessions for any one record in history, which would you choose and why? What does that record mean to you?
Totally.
That's a pretty serious question.
Fuck, I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean,
Axis, Bold as Left.
yeah,
Yeah,
Jimmy?
it's my old man's favorite record by far.
That's such a good record.
And it's like the last staple before. Obviously.
That's a great question. It's a tough one. I mean, there's so many albums. It'd be amazing to be a fly on the wall in a lot of them. The first one that came to mind for me was Jeff Buckley Grace, and just because it was a huge influence on me, like it was a big inspiration to me. And I learned a lot from that album, so it would, I mean, for me, it would be really cool just to see how he performed, how he recorded, and all that. There's so many though. It's a tough one, but that was the first one that came to mind.
Probably gonna go like way back to when bands flew around on private jets and shit. Like get in a Zeppelin album or something.
Yeah, I thought about Zeppelin too.
That would be pretty epic.
It'd be cool to sit in Abbey Road Studios and just
Yeah.
hang out and watch the Beatles make Let It Be or something. You know.
Amazing. Can you imagine? Not really.
Good question.
Yeah, tough one.
Well, let's do another song.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's it for questions.
I was around when this song was recorded. So that's good.
What do we do?
Do Never Too Late?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. This world will never be what I expected. And if I don't belong, would have guessed it. I will not leave alone. Everything that I own to make you feel like it's not too late. It's never too late. Even if I stay, it'll be alright. Still I hear you say you want to end your life. Now when again we try to just stay alive. Baby, we'll turn it around, 'cause it's not too late. It's never too late. No one will ever see the side reflected. And if there's something wrong, who would have guessed it? And I am left alone. Everything that I own to make you feel like it's not too late. It's never too late. And even if I stay, it'll be alright. Still I hear you say you want to end your life. And when again we try to just stay alive. Baby, we'll turn it around, 'cause it's not too late. It's never too late. The world we live, oh, come back to time. We lost, can't get back to life. We have all been again. This world will never be what I expected. And if I don't belong, even if I say it'll be alright. Still I hear you say you want to end your life. Now when we try to just stay alive. Baby, we'll turn it around, 'cause it's not too late. It's never too late. Baby, we'll turn it around, 'cause it's not Yeah. Thank you. Rock and roll.
Thanks for tuning in to the Blitz Virtual Backroom with Saint Asonia. Pick up their new album, Flawed Design, wherever music is sold. I'm Ronnie Hunter from your rock station, 99.7 The Blitz. See you next time.